All right, this video is covering probability, and it's going to be talking about theoretical and experimental probability. And first you need to know what those are. Theoretical probability is when you're using math to predict how many times an event will occur. And that's going to involve using proportions to make your prediction. And you'll see us working through those in a moment. Experimental probability is when you perform the probability experiment, which means you're actually rolling the dice, you're spinning the spinner, flipping a coin, and you're recording the results and you're displaying them in a table. That's usually what experimental probability is going to show. So let's check out a couple of these. We've got a number cube being rolled, and it's 30 rolls. This table is displaying the results after rolling 30 rolls. If you added all of these up, 2 plus 5 plus 4 plus 7 plus 8 and 4, it's going to add up to 30 because that's the total of 30 rolls. So this shows the experimental results. Theoretically, they should have all appeared the same amount. Theoretically, they should have all appeared 5 times. So let's ask a couple questions here. What's the theoretical probability for rolling a 6? Well, rolling a 6 theoretically would be 5 times. Now, to do a proportion to figure this out, first you'd figure out, a 1 in 6 chance for one roll. And then out of 30, then you do your incomplete proportion and you get 5. So theoretically, 6 should have appeared 5 times. Theoretically, they all should have appeared 5 times. So then it's going to ask, what is the experimental probability for rolling a 6? Well, experimentally, when you actually did the rolling, the 6 appeared 4 times. So the probability for that would have been 4 out of 30, which in lower terms is 2 out of 15. So either of these could have been answers. Now, if they had said, what is the experimental results, you would have said 4. But the experimental probability is 4 out of 30. You have to be careful the difference between probability versus results. Results is just a single number. Probability is going to be in fraction form, 4 out of the total. All right, moving on. So we've got a spinner here, and it's showing results out of 40 spins. Now, is this table showing experimental or theoretical? It's showing that you actually did the spinning. This would be experimental. And then theoretically, they all would have appeared 8 times. Because basically 5 different outcomes, 40 divided by 5 gives you 8. So theoretically, if everything was mathematically perfect, everything would have appeared 8 times. When you spin that spinner, you have a 1 in 5 chance of getting any of these letters. So out of 40 spins, they'd all theoretically appear 8 times. Which letters appeared less than the theoretical amount of times? Well, you're looking for the ones that appeared less than 8. Well, 5 and 6 are less than 8, so C and D appeared less than the theoretical amount of times. C and D appeared less than the theoretical amount. Did any letter appear the theoretical amount of times? Well, theoretically, everything should have appeared 8. E appeared 8 times. So E appeared the theoretical amount of 8 times. We're moving on. We've got a table here showing the frequency, the amount of times things appeared after 24 rolls. So 1 appeared 8 times, 2 appeared once, and so on. This is showing experimental results. Theoretically, 6 different outcomes, 24 divided by 6. Theoretically, everything would have appeared 4 times. But when you actually did the rolling in the blue, that's what happened. So another way to figure this out, you could have said each of these had a 1 in 6 chance of appearing. Then you'd do your proportion completion. Everything should have appeared 4 times theoretically. The number 3 was rolled more than, less than, or equal to its theoretical amount. Well, 3 I rolled and it got 6 times. Is that more or less than the theoretical amount? It's going to be more than. The number 4. 4 was rolled what compared to its theoretical amount? So 4's experimental was, let's see, 2 is less than 4. It's going to be less than the theoretical amount. Moving on. So now here's another table showing 24 rolls. What is the theoretical probability for rolling a 6? Well, you don't want to look at the table if they're asking about theoretical. Theoretical is when you set up a proportion to figure it out. So for 24 rolls, how many times should 6 appear? Well, we're going to go ahead and do a 1 in 6 chance. And then you're going to say blank out of 24, which is 4 out of 24. So either of these would be a correct answer. 1 out of 6, 4 out of 24. Since they're asking for probability, they're probably going to want you to give it in lowest terms. So the theoretical amount of times that each should happen would be 4. Moving on. What is the experimental probability for rolling a 6? Well, I rolled a 6. How many times? 0. So it's 0 out of 24, which would also be 0 in lowest terms. 6's experimental result was greater than, less than, or equal to its theoretical result. Well, 6's experimental was 0. Theoretically, it should have appeared 4 times, so it was less than the theoretical result. I hope this helps. Best of luck to you.